goddamn advantage, just like the goddamn mankind fools. God is crucifying the real mighty owner the first time, because mankind is just a godly satanic daredevil from his godfather, who's the devil. And they're all got defeated forever. He educates them to make up a business ground for him. And that's what mankind is doing. He's building up a false ground as their land. And that's how they build up their godfather devil's crown. And man can think he really owns it until he has to wake up without his heart and his mind power, and he finds out he doesn't own it. It was just a deal. And mankind is so happy about his godfather's deal because it pleases his slumber sense power, that man can think he knows something and he's innocent while the sun is shining atop of him, until he finds out he has to leave his false body behind. His false body behind and have his real lifetime forever. And that's when he finds out how he misjudged life and time and power while the sun was shining atop of him, because mankind is just brainwashed to think that he knows something while the sun is shining atop of him, and he keeps himself innocent. But mankind can't keep himself innocent. Mankind is just building up a falsehood on a happy, momentary little thing. And that's how all these false crowns are built up on land they don't own it. And that's the big sign of the time of the Apostle Real Mighty's last coming now, how mankind has rebuilt his godfather, who's the devil. And they think it is the truth. And that's why mankind party fools like gangsters and terrorists, communist and capitalist governments, they all can't stand each other's, and they all got a way to make their flesh and blood body innocent. But the flesh and blood body can't be made innocent.
Why can't a human be innocent?
Pardon?
Why can't a human be innocent?
Why it can't be innocent?
Yes.
Because flesh and blood is just a false, growing old lying body. It is not a real body. But by mankind's education, man can think he has a real body, and he can be made innocent. But when he has to leave his body behind and have his real lifetime, that's when he has his real lifetime rude awakening. To find out he wasn't innocent like he thought he was. It was all a lie, because everything is false whenever the sun can shine on top. It is all getting old, just like our body is getting old. And the body gets old because it's not a real body.
So what is a real body?
The real body lasts forever, the real lifetime. A lifetime is forever. But this world education lifetime is only false, and it all wears out, you see, because it never was a real thing in the first place. And that's why the world crown is just a false crown. But you can't see the false crown, because mankind is being brainwashed. But he doesn't know he's being brainwashed to believe a lie, you see. And the lie he believes is his own heart and mind power, which is false power. He's thinking he knows real things, until he has to pass on and he finds out he never knew a real thing while the sun was shining atop of him, because everything was false, including the sun. And that's why when the real power came to earth, the Apostle Real Mighty came to earth with the signs and wonders and miracles, you know, with signs and wonders and miracles to prove everything was a lie and false. And mankind was so embarrassed that he didn't know his own deceitful, lying, false body, you see. And that's why mankind killed the real mighty judge by crucifying it. Because mankind is God the devil's family, influenced on his inspiration of a deal. And that's what has built up all these different settlements right now. And all these different settlements, they all think they're different, you see. They have a different way of being innocent. Capitalist government, communism, and the terrorist group. And they all think they really are different. But they aren't different. They have the same Godfather who's the devil. And he is masterminding them on the famous education to make them believe their heart and their mind power. And they really believe their heart and mind power until the heart and mind power time is over, and they've got to have their real lifetime. waiting for them. But mankind can't see he has a real lifetime because the heart and mind power is darkness.
How is it possible to escape the lie or to find the truth?
Well, to find the impossible truth, you have to have an hereafter light awakening. A hereafter light awakening, so you can no longer believe the heart and mind power, just like it happened to me. And it happened to me when my body died more than once. That my body died and my real self went out of my body. And it went through the whole universe to the impossible almighty, and it came back. And I found out, wow, the lie I had made to believe. And it was the lie that I was made to believe my heart and mind power. I knew it. That's what made me work. And I drove myself to death by doing it. Because it was a deceitful lie. It made me believe I knew something while the sun was shining atop of me, that my heart and mind was a powerful thing. But that way I found out it wasn't a powerful thing. It was just a famous lie, so famous,
What can be more powerful than the mind?
Well, what is more powerful than the mind? The mind is darkness. It has no real power. It has no real power. It doesn't know a real thing. It is false power. And that's why it can only do things that are false. But it doesn't know that it's false. Until the false time is over, he has to leave his timeable body behind and move on. And that's when he finds out he has to move on without his heart and mind power.
And when will that time come?
Pardon?
When will that time come?
Well, that could be that. The open time could be any moment that the false time could be over, because mankind, the false crown, is everywhere, and all these false crowns, they really think they own the land, like all these different settlements. They really think it's theirs, but it's not theirs, and that's the sign of time at the end of the false crown, happiness, because the false crown, when the impossible real mighty came the first time with the signs and wonders and miracles, who is Jesus the light yourself, that's why they killed his body by crucifying it. Because they couldn't believe their own mind what they seen and heard. With the signs and wonders and miracles, because it was all against their false power that they had been brought up to say that it was the truth. And it was justice, it was honest, and it was freedom. But it wasn't. Mankind is in slavery. Mankind is in slavery, bloodthirsty mankind. And mankind is a bloodthirsty mankind after his flesh and blood built up. And that's what that built up the Roman Empire and all these different settlements. It is the bloodthirsty after flesh and blood. That mankind builds it up as a real, great, and a wonderful thing. Until it's over, and he finds out how he misunderstood everything. He didn't know that he was going to have his real lifetime forever. And that's what happened to me when my body died more than once. And how my body died, it happened at least 10 times, and 2 times I was in car accidents where cars were totally wrecked, and there were 7, 8 people in the car. And when my last breath was out of my body, which is my real self, the impossible real mighty made me calling yourself for help and answered, and it came back. And when it came back, there was nobody seriously hurt, and there wasn't even a bone broken. And the cars were wrecked both times. And that's how I went through the whole universe to the impossible real mighty judge and back, without my body and without using my heart and mind power. It happened by an unbelievable truth power interceding experience. And that's what blew out my false heart and mind power. Sealed it. It broke it, And I could no longer believe my own heart and mind and body, because I knew I was living in a false body. And before this, I thought the false body was a real wonderful thing, just like mankind is accepting what his body is. He's good that they have the wrong idea about their own body. And that's why the body gets old, and the body is nothing great about the physical body, because the body can only produce waste. Shit, piss, and blood. There's nothing great about it. But mankind, he doesn't know his own body, Because he's masterminded by his godfather, who's the devil. And godfather, the devil's lying ideas, it builds up mankind. And the bloodthirsty body likes it. And they like it so much, they can't stop until it's over. And that's when the growing old line dying, false body stays behind. And that's when they find out, wow, they never expect to have the real birth without a body and without the sun shining atop of them. Because their real birth is in homeless miseries forever. Yeah, they had a good time here on this false side. and they didn't know it was the false side. Everything was getting old. Because they were being more and more alerted to brainwash themselves, to believe their free will, heart, and mind power. Yeah. But without a flesh and blood body. But right now in this flesh and blood body, the pre-exist family, well, the other ones are trying to take them over. They are trying to take them over. And that's why the false crown government, they killed the main leaders of the crown family. And the main leaders were the holy apostles. You see? They were the holy apostles, they were the main crown leaders. And the false crown, they couldn't stand the truth that they were the false crown, and they killed the holy apostles' body. And they took over as the truth again. And now mankind is everywhere, and they really believe that all these settlements is the real crown. But no, it's not the real crown, the money guys. No, the money guys are a false crown, just like the Roman Empire was, because it's a money deal from God the devil. See, and that's why all this system is all based on that money, eh? Money can make you innocent, you see?
I see.
Money can make you innocent by just a trick deal. Money can make nobody innocent. See, and that's what the Roman Empire and all their worship groups, they were all caught up in that, eh?
Yeah.
And when the possible real mighty owner came, and that's why mankind was so insulted about his about the world civilization course, you see, the headstrong advancement course, eh? Because the headstrong advancement of civilization, it is darkness is deepening. Darkness is deepening and the dawning up as the dawn of light and the truth. And mankind figures really they are going into the truth. But mankind is not going into the truth. He's going into darkness and a lie, but his body can't see past the lie until he has to leave his body behind. And that's where he wakes up.
What will happen when a person leaves their body behind?
Well, that's the end of this happy time. That's the end of his happy body time. His misery is waiting reserved for him because he hated the truth. And that's what mankind is doing. He's building up these things because he's a truth hater, but at the same time, like the Roman Empire and all the rest, they're claiming it is the truth and it's justice and it's freedom, you know, but it's not. It's a lie and it's slavery for mankind, and that's why mankind has built up all these things, but he doesn't recognize it's slavery again until he has to leave his body behind. And that's when he finds out he never was free in the first place. It was just so perfectly matched his heart and mind power, the false power, and it pleased his body, right?
Yeah.
Build it up.
When do you think the false crown will be replaced by the real crown?
Well, that's why when the real mighty came to earth, the impossible real mighty broke the false crown already. That's why the impossible real mighty came to earth and broke the false crown and raised his own family with his body resurrection from the dead, eh? You see, and that's why it was proven to me that impossible real mighty came to earth and won the crown family when my body died. That I flashed through the whole universe. I flashed through the whole universe, and nothing could stop it, nothing could touch it, because the impossible mighty won the crown and proved to my real self that I'm ever rest freedom. There's nothing ever going to stop it. Nothing's going to ever win, because I went through the death line already. And now I'm so happy that I'm no longer behind the death line. I'm ahead of the death line, you see. And mankind, the mankind crown, it is not ahead of the death line. It's building it up behind the death line. And it's down already. But they don't know the crown was down because their godfather is the devil and he's brainwashing them again. The same way he brainwashed the Roman Empire and all the rest of the settlers, they all thought they were different because of his clever divided education lies, eh? Yeah, God the devil's education is just a bunch of divided lies so that man can think in his heart and his mind power, he knows the differences. Until it's over, he finds out there was no difference.